Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Wake Up Training. Today we're going to be covering the Tom Ferry's 8 top things that top producers do to surge into 17 in December. It's that time of the year. I know it's not even Thanksgiving yet, but it is that time of the year. So we're going to be talking about what top producers do in December to really hit 2017, I don't want to skip a year, running fast. So as usual, we talk about habits, attitudes, and skills. Today we're covering both skills and habits as we talk about these 8 top tips. And of course, the better your skills and habits, the better your mindset and attitude is going to be. So these top tips come from Tom Ferry. Tom Ferry is one of the big coaches out there, along with Excellium and Mike Ferry and Buffini Peak Producers as well. So these come from one of Tom Ferry's videos that you can watch on YouTube. This is public information, so I'm not stealing anything from Tom Ferry. So they're broken up into 3 different categories: organize, your pipeline, and focus. Those 3 things as we think about surging into 2017. So number 1, under the is getting organized, and the 3 elements under that are the open loops, inbox empty, and declutter social media. So let's take a look at those 3 one at a time. The open loops, first thing, sit down now when you've probably got a little bit more time. If you've been a producing agent, things are probably slowing down a little bit. If you're a newer agent, you may have a lot of different initiatives and things going on. So list your open projects. Are you going to finish your CRM system? Are you going to set up e-cards for next year? Are you going to set up customers and clients, morning Josh, on Seller Advantage? What are all those things you've been thinking about doing, those projects? Make a list of all those. So sit down, and rather than waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and going, oh, I was going to do Seller Advantage, make a list of them and then schedule your priorities. Remember, we talk about, this comes from many different sources. Schedule your priorities. Don't try to prioritize your schedule. Again, if you're prioritizing your schedule, that means you're trying to look at what's flying at you and deciding what's most important. That sometimes you need to do, but the best way to do it is to decide, first of all, what are my priorities of my overall business big picture, and schedule them, and then deal with those small rocks and the pebbles and the sand and the water that we talk about as well. So once you've listed your open projects, set your priorities and which one of those are the most important for you, then set an agenda to tackle them with deadlines. We always say that a goal without a deadline is merely a dream, and dreams are nice, but if we want to succeed in business, you've got to set deadlines for yourself and then try to stick to them. So again, in terms of organized, number 1, open loops. Number 2 is inbox empty. Boy, don't we all suffer from this. I know, I talk about this frequently. I still do it. My phone goes deep, and my instinct is to reach in my pocket and pull it out and look at it. Maybe there's an email. Well, there may be times when that's important. If you're waiting for a counter offer, or you've been told an offer's coming in, or a signed document for your client, and of course, you're going to be looking at your email. But most of the time, during the day, you can, if you respond to a client's request for something within an hour or 2, that's usually okay. So part of the time frame is to set up, and I'm jumping to the last one there, is to set up a time to go through these things and to delete irrelevant emails. So unsubscribe from Zappos. That's one of the main things. I like Zappos. I get Zappos. I get lots of other things. I won't go into the details of which Scotch sellers send me things every day. If you've got a personal email address, have them send you Golf Digest to your personal email address, and only look at your personal email in the evening or when you have time, or first thing in the morning when you're having coffee or whatever. So keep your business email address for business. Now, a lot of people will use a Gmail address that has their name in it, for their business. That's fine. Have another Gmail address if you want for your personal stuff. So you separate them and delete irrelevant emails and do them right away. Again, unsubscribe from Zappos. And then the third point down there, set up folders, which you can do in some of your email systems. Gmail, I think you can. In Outlook, you can set up folders. Even better, though, when you take the time to go through your emails, is to forward them to Evernote. A couple of weeks ago, we had the class on Evernote 101. I think we've had 50-some views on the YouTube channel of that training, so I'm delighted. That is a fabulous tool. One of the best things that serves is that you can forward any email you want to save, either because it's a pertinent client information or because it's something you'd like to read later. Boom, forward it to Evernote, and then you can read it at your leisure. Get it off of your email, because we all know how distracting those emails are as we read down there looking for the important ones. Number 3, under organize, declutter your social media. Unfriend, unfollow, and create lists. This is so incredible. When we get into Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or any of these things, it's so easy to get swallowed up looking at this chain that goes from your best friend to somebody that you remember vaguely from high school and couldn't stand. Why are you wasting your time? That person from high school has not become brilliant. And yeah, maybe you want them on your mailing list, on your database, because they might become a client sometime, but don't follow them on Facebook and waste your time and maybe getting frustrated with their political views if they differ from yours. We all do that kind of thing. So unfriend, unfollow, and create lists and join lists to focus on what's of interest to you. Number 2, ration your time. I started to mention that a moment ago. Don't get on Facebook willy-nilly. Set a time. Set a time when maybe it's at noon, maybe it's at 4 o'clock, maybe it's at 6 a.m., maybe it's 2 or 3 times a day to get on to look at your emails and maybe get onto Facebook, because Facebook and these things can be good sources of business for you, absolutely. If you see something on Facebook where somebody says, Joe just got a new job, hooray, wow, you better be calling up Sally, whose husband Joe just got that job, or vice versa, and saying, I see Joe got a new job. You guys thinking about buying or selling, buying a new house? Congratulations. So yes, there's good reason to follow it, but don't let it waste your time. Ration your time. And again, one of the things you can do, if there's a great article on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever that you want to read, forward it to your reading list in Evernote. And then when you're sitting there watching the Colts play on Sunday afternoon and you're not that intrigued by the game, you can read some of the things on your reading list. So great tools for minimizing your time. And again, I always recommend Engage One-to-One, available at the BHHS Resource Center. There's free content there. I've talked about that frequently. I'll just mention it. Go to the Resource Center, go to social media, the social media resource, go to Engage One-to-One and tap on and click on free content, and it will set you up with an email every day with 5 or 6 articles that you can then automatically post once you've set up your login information to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Google+. So it's a great way for you to be posting information about real estate on your social media to keep in touch with people. I always advise people, if you're not in LinkedIn, get in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the most business-oriented, where LinkedIn is especially geared for referrals and business connections. That's what's expected there. Facebook, not quite so much. Okay, so going on to number 2, the second element of the way Tom Ferry has organized these things in top tips for a strong finish to the year and to surge into 2017. Pipeline. It's time to be thinking about your pipeline. This time of the year, many people, when I sit down and talk with them, oh man, I just had my last closing. I don't have any prospects. I don't have any listings right now. Oh boy, it's going into winter. It's nasty. Well, that's where the concept of the pipeline and doing a lot of the things that we talk about in terms of prospecting, the peak producers approach. You can use the Mike Ferry, the Tom Ferry approach of some of the cold calling type of things. That's what keeps your pipeline full. So right now, to get you started into that, if you don't have a full pipeline, contact every prospect that you've talked to. I don't know how many people I talk to who say, yeah, I've got this great prospect. They're thinking about buying, and they've got a lease that expires, or they've got their student loans will expire next spring, and I've got them on my list. I've got them on my mailing list, and I'm doing a seller advantage with them for their current home. Well, this is a good time over the next 60 days or 45 days now to contact every one of them with a phone call or a coffee or a lunch or a cigar, whatever's appropriate, to nail down what their intentions are. So let's take a look at that. Confirm their plans. Hey, last time we talked, you're thinking about buying. Is that still on your goal list? Did you get pre-approved? Hey, let's take these steps to get you done. Confirm their motivation. Well, I don't know. Joe's thinking about changing jobs. He hates his boss. Okay, that's going to give you more of a context to whether they're going to be really doing something or not. And if they're not going to do something, you still want them on your list, but you want to treat them differently and not be pushy with them, obviously. So confirm their motivation, confirm the timing. Oh, that's fantastic. So your lease does expire March 31st, and you do definitely want, you've been pre-approved. That's great. Let's start looking for houses then, probably January 2, in order to get things taken care of, and set a plan with them. And remember, of course, when you're talking with them, and you've got that commitment that you're going to work with them whenever it may be, don't forget to, in the meantime, ask them to give you referrals. And that's even if they say, you know what, we're going to wait. We've re-upped our lease. We had a special. We could sign for 6 months lease, extend our lease for 6 months more for 2 months free. So we did that. Okay, that's great. So you've got their confirmed timing. Be sure to continue to remind them how valuable their referrals are. And when they give you a referral, just give me their phone number or their email address. Mention my name. I'll follow up with them. You don't have to sell me. If you mention me and that you're working with me, that's wonderful. But give me all you need to do. I'll do the work, okay? As long as you're comfortable with that. So, and then delete the D's. Remember one of the things with your CRM, you're ranking all the people in your CRM as A plus, A, B, C, and D. A plus being those people that have the closest relationship, that if you've been in the business a while, these people have given you more than one referral. If you're new to the business, these might be people that you know would give you one or have said they'd give you one in your discussions already, and they're primed to do that. A's are people who might have given you one referral. B's are those people who you've got a nice relationship. You need to spend time and talk to them about what you're doing in the business and remind them that giving you referrals would be helpful and how much you'd appreciate it. So to tee them up. C's are people that you've just met maybe at that open house that you want to move up the ladder. And D's are people that maybe that person you went to high school with you couldn't stand and is living now in the hills in Texas or something like that. Maybe you delete them. I don't know. Your choice there. But you don't want to waste time on people that you're pretty confident would never be a client for you. So number 5 under pipeline, schedule Q1 now. So be thinking ahead. Yes, it's holiday time. We've got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got family time. We've got the Christmas and holidays, and Hanukkah and everything coming up in December so that we can enjoy all those. Yes, do enjoy those. So not much is going to happen in December, business-wise, perhaps. So be focusing already on your business execution targets for January, February, and March for the first quarter. And obviously, as you've talked to those people and sounded out their goals and confirm their timing, you're going to be able to put together a plan. We're going to start looking with Wally and Sue as of February 1 because their lease expires April 30th, et cetera, et cetera. So put your plans into place for what you're doing. And then especially important, from now through the end of the year, get your marketing plan put together. E-cards, action plans, coffees, pop buys, get some things scheduled for that first quarter and to get ready to going out. For e-cards and action plans, you want to do that for the whole year. And we're going to be having an event in December. We don't have the time yet where, number one, we're going to bring in a national trainer, big name trainer is going to be in, talking about business planning for us. And Michael is also going to be part of this event, helping people set up hands-on your e-cards, action plans, et cetera, for you. So you don't want to miss that. That's a great way to get 2017 headed in the right direction and do a lot of work right now instead of waiting to the beginning of the year. Get your social media details in order. Check your LinkedIn and your Facebook profiles. Set up a Facebook business page if you don't have one. And you can use these things as a CRM. One of the great things I love about LinkedIn, every now and then I'll get an endorsement from somebody or something, and I'll click on theirs and endorse them back. And then it brings up this thing where it says, these people know, Joe Jones. Do you know Joe Jones? Oh, yeah, I did business with Joe Jones years ago. Wow, click, and you make a relationship with Joe Jones. Wow. So using these things, and same with Facebook. This is a friend of somebody else. Oh, click to become friends. Get their information and put them in your CRM and see if you can add them to your database. So use the social media, not so much as a CRM, but to build your CRM. So And then number 6, I'm going to have to get a new picture for this one here. Shoot gratitude videos. This is something you can do this time of the year. Obviously, most of us are going to be sending Christmas cards, whether physical cards or e-cards or both, to our clients, past clients, friends, all those people in our sphere, on our database. Wow. For your top clients, your top relationships, what would it do to have them get an email from you with a 30-second, maybe 60-second, but ideally 30-second video personalized to them? Hi, Bill, it's David. Just wanted to say thanks again for you and Kristen letting me help you sell your house out in Feather Cove this year. It was a delight, and can't wait to see you guys at your new house in Hamilton proper for dinner next week. Happy New Year, whatever. Just that is so powerful. Much more than a handwritten note, which is much more powerful than a printed note, which is much more powerful than an e-card. But use those and think about doing those for a handful of your top clients and see what kind of results you want. And again, don't worry, these are not professional videos. These are you, yourself, amateurish, smiling, happy, full of enthusiasm. So personalized, and remember, we've got the Videolicious app. Greg Cooper did a training session for us in October, I think it was, on the Videolicious app, which is free for us at the BHHS Resource Center. Michael can help you get that set up. Greg can get that set up. It's wonderful because it allows you to add music to it and other images if you want to in your business. Now, for this one, just for your little personal card, you can just use your phone on your camera. So, or you can use Videolicious if you want to make it more telling. Put a title on it that says "Merry Christmas, Will and Kristen," on there, on the head into it. So, third element is your focus. We talk so much about focusing on planning and various things like that. Scheduling your priorities as opposed to prioritizing your schedules. That really gets us tied up into the whole concept of focusing and having an aim for something. So 2 things under this one: goal up and get visual, and number 8, track and measure. So number 7, goal up and visual. Every one of the big trainers and coaches, and you'll see this in the thing that we bring in next time, there's going to be talk about, number 1, setting SMART goals, and then putting together a vision board. I talked about SMART goals before. We're going to talk about SMART goals again later this month in our class, and then when this trainer comes in, they'll be talking about that as well. But all the trainers talk about SMART goals. Remember, SMART goals means it's specific, measurable, attainable, not just something ridiculous that you couldn't attain, relevant, i.e. tied into what you're doing and the level you are, and then T, time-oriented. Again, goals without a deadline are merely dreams, so you want to have a deadline on all the things you put together to do. So written SMART goals, and see them in front of you every day. These may be things like save for my children's college, double my children's college fund this year, or whatever it might be. That could be a great goal for you. Then you translate that into what that means in terms of how many houses you need to sell, how much you need to control your expenses, et cetera, et cetera. And then that last one, the vision board and your big why. If you go into Drew Schrader's and Julie Downham's and my daughter's office upstairs, you'll see their vision boards. They actually had a contest last year among the 3 of them to who could put together the best vision board. And I'm proud to say that my daughter won that contest with her vision board. So the key is visuals are so important. So you want to create something that you can have in your office or at home or both, where you're frustrated, something's going wrong, you can look up and see that photograph of Paris. Yeah. We want to plan for a trip to Paris, or the island. We want to retire to the islands, in 5 years. Or a picture of Ohio State University. We want our kids to go to Ohio State, and we're saving up our money for that. So what's your big why that gives you the reason to continue and to push and to do the things you know you need to do? So, and then the last one, track and measure. You can have great plans. You can have very detailed plans on what you need to do every day. But if you don't pay any attention to whether you've actually done them or not, it's going to do you 0 good. So you need to track and measure your progress. Yes, on a daily basis. If your goal is to make 5 calls a day and you let a week go by without asking yourself, did I actually make 5 calls a day? Pretty soon you're going to forget that you really wanted to make 5 calls a day, and then it'll be 5 calls a week. You know this. You know the drill. So it's so important to track what you've set up for yourself as these goals, and these help you avoid seat of the pants, SOTP, seat of the pants decisions on things. When you are confronted with a decision, should I sign up for some paid coaching? Should I take this class? Should I go do that? Then you're going to have a much better idea of whether you can afford that, if it's a monetary investment or a time investment or whatever. So you have to set a routine for how you're going to track things. Evernote is a great tool for tracking things. I have action agendas. I've been through this with you before. You can set up whatever you want to call it, where every day you've got your list of the things, and it's a template, the things you want to do, and you'll hear from this trainer who's coming in the concept of 5555, and so you can track every day whether you're doing all these things and have a template and track them every day to keep you on track and have a routine for doing that. And then obviously, when you're tracking your progress and your things, you can make adjustments to keep on target. Wow, I'm finding that I can make 6 or 7 calls every day. This is easy. I'm having great success. I'm going to up my target to 10. That's great. Or I'm running into problems. I've only made 2 calls a day for the last 2 weeks. What am I doing wrong? How can I make an adjustment? And this is where coaching can help. Your manager can help you. Talking to an accountability partner, all of these things can be of help for you. So there are the 8 top tips from Tom Ferry. I'll reiterate again, for a strong finish to this year and a surge into 2017. So the skill of focusing on goal setting and touches to tee up your surge into 2017, and the habit of tracking your activities and stats going to help you know where you've been and where you're going, and to yield better results, and mainly to help you actually just surge into 17 and hit the beginning of the year running, as opposed to going, well, what should I do now? Christmas is over. The holidays are done. The Colts didn't win the Super Bowl this year. What am I going to do now? So surge into 17. Keep all this stuff going. So anybody have any questions out there or in here? Any thoughts? Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it. I thought I hit stop recording. There we go. Boom.